Hello and welcome back to Instant Graphics Now. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to edit the PSD neon text effect. And in this tutorial, you're going to see that not only can you apply this effect to text objects, but you can also apply it to other objects as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to be doing this tutorial using the free Photopea software. This can also be edited using Photoshop. However, since Photopea is what's free and readily available to everyone, that's what I'm going to be using in this tutorial. Okay, so when you open up the neon effect file using photopea.com, this is what it looks like. You will see a sample of the effect with some additional text that you'll be able to hide or remove later. So when you want to make an edit or a change to this effect, what you're going to do is you're going to be working within the layers of this template. So if you look over to the right side of the template, you're going to see 3 layers here. And the first one is named text effect. So when you click on the drop-down menu next to text effect, the first item you see under that layer is called change text here. And so when we double click on that item, that will open up a new tab in the canvas window that allows us to make any changes we want to this effect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and double click on that now. And now we see that we have the canvas window here. You can see the text that's already provided in the sample, and it's against a transparent background. So this right here is a text object. So if your goal is to create a text object with the neon effect, you can just go ahead and double click in this text object. It'll select all the text in there. If you want, you can just edit one letter at a time, or you can just select it all like so and make whatever changes you like. So I'm just going to change the text first, and then I'll do some other samples with other types of items as well. So I'm just going to type the word awesome here. Okay, and I'm going to select it, and I'm just going to choose a different font so you can see that the effect can be applied no matter what font you choose. So in this example, I'm going to click on the font selection box here in the upper left, and I'm going to use one of the pre-installed fonts here. Let's go ahead and use this one called Dearest Outline. All right, that looks like an interesting font. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger by changing the size in the size option box to 150 pixels. And so now that it's at a size that's a little bit easier to look at, I'm just going to move this text object around until I center it or I'll put it in the position I want. For this tutorial, I'm centering it, but you can place it wherever you like. All right, so once I make the change to this text object, the way that I make sure that the neon effect is applied is that I go up here to the File menu and I click on Save Smart Object. Okay, and it'll take a moment to do that, but once it's done, it'll say Smart Object updated. And then to view it, you can go here to the first tab, you can click on it, and now you see that the neon effect has been applied to that new text that I've inserted in there. Okay, but what if I already have a design? So say, for example, what if I already have something that maybe is a design that's saved either as a PNG or maybe even a vector file such as an SVG? Well, that can be inserted as well, and the neon effect will still be applied to it. So let's do an example first with a PNG. All right, and just so you understand, a PNG is a design or graphics file that has a transparent background. I'm going to insert a PNG file that I've already created, and so we can see how it works with this template. So when you have a PNG file that you want to apply this effect to, you're going to use the File menu again. So you're going to go up to File, and you're going to use the option that says Open and Place. All right, so this is going to open a window for you to be able to navigate to where your design is. So in this case, I have it saved in a folder, and the PNG file, I named it Thank You, but it's a transparent design, as you'll see here. So I'm just going to click on my PNG file and I'm going to click Open. Okay, and it's going to insert it here, and I'm just going to resize it and, again, position it to where I want. Up or down. This is close enough, okay? And I'm just going to hide the text object here by clicking on the eyeball that's next to it to hide it, okay? So right now I just have my PNG design file inserted here. And so now to save the changes, we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to go back up to the File menu and click on Save Smart Object. Allow it to save, and then we can view it here in the first tab. And we see that the neon effect is applied to the PNG file, right? It looks gorgeous. Now, what happens if we have an SVG? Well, we can still do the same thing. So I'm going to show you an example of that as well. So once again, to insert an SVG, you do the same thing as you did to insert the PNG. You're going to go up to the File menu. You're going to click on Open in Place. And you're going to navigate to where you have it saved. In this case, I have another sample in the folder that I created. I named it Logo. This happens to be an SVG. And I know it's an SVG because I created it and I named it Logo. But I'm going to just click on it, and then I'm going to click the Open button and give it a moment to work, and it's inserting it. Okay. And I'm just going to hide the other one. Let me resize it for a second because I don't want to go in straight to the edges. But I'm going to position it there, pretty much centered, and I'm going to hide that PNG file that I inserted. Now notice here that this logo that I inserted, it's two different colors, right? You see black and you see red, but that's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. It's still going to apply the neon effect with the colors that the neon was designed with. So you're going to see how that looks like. So once I've inserted this SVG file, I've resized it and positioned it to where I want it. We're going to do the same steps to save it. We're going to go back over to the File menu and click on Save Smart Object. Give it some time to work, make sure it's updated, and then when we click on the first tab to view it, we're going to see that the neon effect has been applied to the logo as well. Okay, so those are three different file types or object types that you can work with in this neon effect PSD template file. Okay, now there's one more step when you're using this template. You know, there's some extra text that's here that you can get rid of if you don't want it, right? And the way you do that is you go to this second layer over here on the right. So the layer is called text. And when you open up the drop down for that, there is an eyeball next to each object that you can choose to turn on or off to hide it, right? So when I click on the eyeball, it'll hide it. And if I want to make it appear again, I can click on the eyeball again. If you want to get rid of it altogether, you can just select the object, right click, and you can choose the option that says delete. All right, if you just want to delete it and get it out of your project altogether. But that's how you hide the text that's corresponding in there. Okay, and of course, there's a third option with this template as far as making changes to the background, right? And there's a lot of options that you can use to change it. This BG layer down here is the brick. And so these other options on the background is what gives the different color and effects to the brick. So you can play around with that as well. You can change it to a different type of wall background if you like. All right. But as far as applying the neon effect, now you understand how you can apply it either to a text object, a PNG object, or an SVG object that you insert. All right. Once you've created the look that you want, you can also save your work. And you do that by going to the File menu and you go to Export As. When you do that, you'll see options here for different file types that you can export your file to. Many of the most typical and often used file types are here at the beginning of the menu. If you go down to More and hover over that, you'll see additional file types that may fit your needs. And once you do that, you just, for example, if I decide I want to save this as a JPEG, I could click on JPEG. An additional window will open up like this. I can give the file a name. And when I click Save, it will open up a window that lets me save it to wherever I want to on my computer. Okay, so that is how you can use the PSD neon effect template to apply a neon glowing bright effect to any of your designs, whether it's a text object that you use within the template itself, or whether you insert your own PNG or SVG file. Hope that you found that helpful. If you'd like to purchase this template, make sure to use the link that's provided in the description below. You get the same price you do as the Etsy shop. It just helps me with the fees that I have to pay to Etsy. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful. Have a great day and God bless.